Welcome back to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Today, we're talking about one of the most difficult strikes in combat sports, but one that people like to watch the most and want to learn the most, and those are spin kicks.
Bazooka Joe Valtellini.
When talking about spin kicks, there are two different types of kicks that we need to talk about. The first is a spinning hook kick, the second is a spinning back kick. Both have different purposes, both are very difficult to throw, but I'm gonna take you through the progression to learn how to throw both. Before we get into the actual spin kicks, we have to work on our side kick because the ending of our spin kick has to come from a side kick in that chambered position. So it's all about progression. And the progression I like to use is holding onto a chair. And this way it helps you get that extension in your kick. One of the biggest mistakes people make when throwing their spin kicks is they'll get the spin and then the kick comes and they're very bent in the hip, or they're trying to hook kick and they're very tight. So this progression is gonna help you get that extension in the knee and the hip. So holding on for balance, what I'm gonna do is work the knee up position, because when you spin, I wanna get to that knee up position, the chambered. So from the chamber, I'm gonna work the side kick and return. Okay, I don't wanna have this hip bent. I need to full extension in my knee and my hip, and my plant foot needs to be pointing in the opposite direction. That's the key for power. If I'm trying to side kick with my plant foot pointing in a different direction, I don't get full access to my hip. Boom. As soon as I pivot, now I'm able to get full extension, good power, and I can smack with my heel. So that's the side kick. The hook kick still comes from that chamber position. It's not different. So knee up, I can go side kick. If I want the hook kick, as I extend, I whip out a little further and I bring my heel to my butt, okay? So from a chambered side kick, and then you can see the way I bring my heel out and bring it back to my butt, and that's where I'm gonna get the impact. In the side kick, it's the extension that gives me the power, where in the hook kick, it's the actual whipping of my heel. So up, whipping of the heel to my butt is gonna give me the impact and the power, okay? So make sure you get comfortable first using something to hold. This way we get extension, we get balance, and we understand the lines of our technique. Once you have the stationary side kick or hook kick down, it's important now that we work our first step. The first step is one of the most important because it lines me up for my kick. And that's the biggest challenge that a lot of people have. I'm lined up nicely in front of my opponent, but they don't know how to step off in order to get the rear kick in a straight line. So the beginner way of teaching it is getting the front foot to step across, okay? Why I would not do that as a professional is because it's a telegraph. When you watch any fights online, the first thing you see is when someone does this, you know the spin attack is coming. That's called a telegraph. So as you get more experience in this type of kick, you want to take those away so your opponent can't see them. But we need to learn the basic technique first. So the way I teach it is, one, with my foot on the center line. As I step over, now my back heel is in line with my target. I spin my head, and all I'm doing here is knee up, chambered into a side kick. So basically the spin kick is a bunch of little steps that we need to start slow and then make it fast and use the momentum. So one, step across center line, turn my head over my shoulder, look at the target, and then whip my side kick. Remember, once I get to that chamber position, I can throw a hook kick or a back kick from there. The only difference is the way my heel position is, straight out versus whipped, okay? So in a little bit of a faster speed, step across, look, side kick, okay? Step across, look, hook kick. And you can see now I'm in nice line with my opponent. Because I step across, I'm here, boom, I'm able to attack on the straight line. Now, I'm gonna show you the advanced application of this, where I don't need to step across. I'm gonna keep my front foot even pointing forward. From here, I just spin off and do it, okay? Hook kick, even better for me because I come right back to my position. So I kick and come back, or if I'm back kicking, boom, I hit and stay on the same line. Bang. All right, different variations. One of my favorite ways to work the spinning back kick is with the body shield. It's a big target, so you don't have to be as accurate. As you get more advanced, then you want to be a little bit more accurate because the main target I'm looking for in the spinning back kick is the liver. As I go to set it up, boom, that's where you get a nice shot. So spinning back kick to the liver should be your #1 option. Now, when doing the drill, it's all about the timing of my opponent. I need to catch them as they are coming in. So as Matt walks in, boom, I catch the liver and I create space, right? I do not want to throw it as they're backing up. If Matt's backing up and I go to throw, I'm out of a position now, and that's where my opponent can counter me. So I need to make sure I'm using the timing coming in. So this is where I like to use the bag on my bag work days to try to catch the timing of the bag as it comes in. Boom, right? Timing drill. The last key to the spinning back kick is making sure you know what the recovery position is. Just like all of our strikes, you have to be able to kick and get back to a position to one, attack again, or to be able to defend. So the first one is the follow through. I'm in an orthodox position. As Matt comes in, I'm gonna kick, boom, right through and end up in my opposite stance. So I'm kicking through one more time, up, boom, and I follow through. This one you're gonna get a little bit more power and it's a little bit less control, right? So that's when I like to use the kick and return back to my orthodox position, which is a little bit more of the way I would throw it. So as Matt comes in, I hit, and I come back into my orthodox position. Now you can see I'm ready to attack again or defend. Boom, I come back. If I really want to get him sending, boom, I will follow through with the technique. So make sure you understand if you're going to use the snapping back kick or the follow through. But just remember, if you miss, that's a good opportunity for your opponent to counter back. Now we're going to talk about the spinning hook kick, my favorite of the spinning kicks. And I like to use it because it comes with a lot of speed and a lot of momentum. And the beautiful thing about the spinning hook kick is it flows nicely off of my low kicks, and I can get nice momentum and flow between the two. So in order to do this, I like to use a single pad way of holding. This way I can kick through the technique. If you're holding in your traditional ways, it's really hard on your partner, on their shoulders, on their forearms. So this way is the best to let you get full speed and momentum in your kick. And just remember, when you're doing this, if you're not as advanced, you have to take the slower steps. Don't worry about rushing. Go through all 3 steps. So I go here, 1, 2, 3, and come back to my stance. There's nothing wrong with that until you get a little bit more comfortable. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then you do it a little quicker. 1, 2, 3. And then when you feel comfortable, don't even step out. Right from a planted position, I can kick through. Okay, looking for that extension in my knee and my hip. There you have it, how to throw different spin attacks. Whether you're throwing a spinning hook kick or a spinning back kick, you need to remember it all comes from that chambered position. It's all about progression. Practice slowly, bring up the speed, bring up the power. Eventually, you'll be able to mix them into your fights. Make sure you keep liking, subscribing, and hit that notification bell and be the first to get these videos from Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA.